Hi, boys and girls. We're back. It's Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'm going to continue reading on chapter 8. This chapter is also called Chase Ambrose. It's a really, really short chapter, so you won't have to listen to me for too long. So just to refresh your memory, what I read yesterday was about Chase joining the video club at school and how Brendan Espinosa thinks that they should give Chase a second chance, but nobody else really agrees with that, especially Shoshana, whose brother was tortured and bullied so badly by Chase that he's now at a boarding school. So yesterday when I finished reading, Shoshana had called her brother on the phone, but she didn't have, I guess you could say, the guts to tell her brother that Chase would be joining the video club at school because she knew he was already depressed and upset enough and she didn't want to make things any worse. So chapter 8, Chase Ambrose. Let's see what happens. The Hiawassee Middle School Hurricanes play a preseason scrimmage against East Norwich on Saturday. I make it a point to be there. Not as a player, but as a member of the video club, so he does join. Miss DeLeo put me in charge of athletics for the video yearbook, so the game is as good as a place to start at. As I climb the bleachers, the flip cam is an awkward weight in my hand. I don't feel like a video club kid. Not that I can recall being any kind of kid. This is supposed to be the site of my greatest glories. Yet, I've lost all of that. The sight of the players on the field doesn't bring back a rush of memories. I guess I always pictured large crowds cheering my name. But there isn't much turnout for the scrimmage. Maybe a couple of dozen kids and a handful of other people scattered around the stands. I raise the camera and shoot a couple of plays. Brendan said I was natural filming how to clean your tricycle. Remember that? That was easy though. That stunt at the car wash was the craziest, funniest, most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I honestly couldn't look away. And since I was watching through the camera viewfinder, I captured the insanity from start to finish. It would be wrong to say I had the time of my life, since I can't speak for my life before the accident. But it was more than enough for Brennan to convince me that the video club was the place for me. A foghorn voice drowns out the PA announcement broadcasting over the loudspeaker. Champ, over here. It's my dad, sitting in the fourth row with Helene. Remember who Helene is? His half-sister who is 4 years old. I never miss a game, he exclaims, assuring me that he was here on the 50-yard line, week in and week out, all through the 28-year gap between his state championship and my own. Helene's turning into a real fan, too. My half-sister has set up an impressive array of dollhouse furniture on the metal bleachers and is playing with a couple of Barbies. As far as I've seen, she hasn't looked in the direction of the field once. For such a big Hurricanes fan, Dad sure doesn't seem to have any fun watching them play. The longer we sit, the darker his mood gets, blackening and lowering until it hangs over him like a line of thunderheads. Did you see that? He complains. The left guard is supposed to cut block on that play. Otherwise, there's no hole for the running back. Or, our quarterback doesn't see the field. He had a man wide open in the end zone. Or, what kind of tackling is that? Did you used to tackle like that? I never tackled like that. I don't remember anything about playing football, I tell him honestly, zooming in tight in the huddle. So I have no idea how I used to tackle. Yeah, well, it was a lot better than that, he snorts. You used to wrap up your man and bring him down properly. By this time, the Hurricanes are on the wrong end of a 24-7 score, so they're losing. It's funny, I've forgotten everything about my own football career, but I know the game itself. When I shoot footage of the action on the field, I get what the players are doing, or at least trying to do. Either East Norwich is all universe, or this year's Hiawassee Hurricanes aren't a team of destiny. I have no idea how good I am, but it's hard to believe that one person could make up the difference between these stumble bums and last year's state champions. We're out of sync, I observe. The O-line is opening up some good holes, but the backs are never in the right place to run through them. Exactly. Dad slaps me too hard on my bad shoulder. That's what I always say. We've got the talent. We do when you're on the field anyway. All we need is the timing. I'm sure it isn't the first time my father and I have ever agreed on something, but it's the first time I actually remember. That's another thing about amnesia. It made me forget how much I like his approval. Helene has dismantled her Barbie condo on the bleachers and is bored out of her mind. Daddy, can we leave? Not yet, honey. Dad doesn't even glance away from the field. It's still the third quarter. I point the flip cam at her. Why don't you set up the furniture again? We can make a movie about your dolls. She curls her lip at me. They're Barbies. Barbie can be a movie star, I offer. As she places the plastic chairs and tables with great care, quarterback Joey Petronis throws an interception that East Norwich runs back for yet another touchdown. That does it for Dad. He goes off on a tyrant against the players, the coaches, even the guys who make the chalk lines on the field. I'm not immune either. He finishes with, "What are you doing with that camera anyway? You should be in this game, not taking pictures of it. I know you don't remember how good you are, but I promise you, you are that good." So Chase's dad seems to be a little bit rough and very, very into sports and probably really, really disappointed that he can't watch his own son play right now. I start to tell Dad I'm only here to cover the team for the video yearbook, but something makes me swallow the words before they hit the air. I understand on a gut level that isn't what Dad wants to hear. Instead, I find myself saying, I want to get back on the field. As soon as the doctor gives the okay, you'll see. I'll be out there. Dad nods, pleased. That's who we are, champ. We're Ambrose men. We're the doers. Other people take pictures of us. Helene acts out entire storylines with her Barbies. I capture it all on video, all the while keeping up a running game commentary with Dad, who doesn't seem to be a Barbie guy. Surprise, surprise. When I play my footage back to Helene on the tiny screen, she squeals with delight. And there, sitting on the bleachers in front of a bad football game, it happens. I remember. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my ability to remember. I remember everything that's happened since I woke up in the hospital. But before the accident, except for that weird image of the little girl in blue, nothing. Until now. It's a flashback of Helene. She's probably what triggered it, because in my memory, she's squealing just like she is now. Wait, no, it isn't a happy sound. Her cheeks are red, her face twisted, and she's about to bawl. In the memory, I'm holding a stuffed teddy bear, her favorite. I remember that too. Actually, I've got the bear in my left hand and its head in my right. I ripped the head off a 4-year-old's teddy bear. Definitely not the memory I've been hoping for, But still, I remembered something, I exclaim out loud. Yeah, what? Dad actually turns his attention from the game. Something from before the accident. See? He's triumphant. I told you there's nothing wrong with you. You'll be back in commission in no time. And man, do we need you out there. On the field, our halfback takes a handoff and is buried under a pile of East Norwich jerseys. Dad's looking away, so he misses it. A tiny gap in the weak side of the defensive line. Our guy could have hit that. I would have hit that. I stutter step to the left. That's what I would have done. Juke out the linebacker and gone. My shoulders shimmy as I make the imaginary cuts in my head. I see it now. I was a player. Correction. I am a player. And as I picture it, the image of the headless teddy bear starts to fade. After all, it's just a stuffed toy. Helene is perfectly happy now. No harm, no foul. I'll bet she's even forgotten it ever happened. I'm going to stop there. Tomorrow I will continue with chapter 9. So just to recap a little bit about what I read today, Chase is joining the video club. He is responsible for filming and interviewing the football players because nobody else seems to want to do that because the players are very uncooperative. Chase goes to one of the scrimmages to film and he bumps into his dad and his half-sister. He does remember something in this chapter. He remembers ripping off the head of his little sister's teddy bear. And he also is remembering quite a bit about football. So let's see how much his memory actually comes back. Don't forget to answer the comprehension questions. Message me if you are confused about anything, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.